Charlie Kirk smacks down this liberals' clueless anti-Trump argument. Folks, I think it is no secret that leftists commonly don't even know why they don't like Donald Trump. They might say they do, but often their talking points are based on some kind of fallacy, a half-truth, something that's just made up completely. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? And don't get me wrong, there are criticisms to be had about our president, and that applies to just about everybody who ever existed before everybody gets all triggered. It's not like a Trump-only thing. But at the end of the day, you have to acknowledge reality for what it is. And if you don't, well, there's not really any point in listening to what you have to say because it's going to be useless. You see an example of this right here and right now. So we're going to get right into it. But first, do me a huge favor here. Like our video and share it around so we can keep you all this hard-hitting content. And also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. And that way, we will see you next time. With all that being said, folks, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
Yo, my name is John, Charlie, Riley. I think a common, stereotype about college students, especially nowadays, we're all liberal and don't know anything. We're all brainwashed, right? It's a common thing that's parroted, right? What I would say is, as someone who just turned 18, goes to the school, and was able to vote the last election, I believe that Trump is not a good option for people like me, young voters, people of color, who are from immigrant families and want to be able to afford things and want to be able to have a good life. I don't believe that's the right way forward. It's fair that you guys criticize the Democrats, this and that. I don't think that's the right way to go, and I'll tell you why. Trump, just for example, people, it's a common thing. We don't know why we hate Trump. We're all brainwashed, right? Trump said, and I quote, "Immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country." As of someone who comes from an immigrant mother,
That's not a quote, and I quote.
Father, how can
illegal?
He said illegal immigrants? Illegal immigrants. Okay, he said illegal immigrants are poisoning the blood. I know people who are illegal and doing the opposite of that. Okay, they're living. You wouldn't even be able to tell their immigration isn't on their face, and it's not. I think that you using that type of rhetoric is not really beneficial for me. Why would I vote for that? Why?
Can we stop using the term people of color? I'm so sick of hearing it. Also, why is colored people offensive, but people of color isn't? It's the same damn thing, just with extra steps. Also, I love how the guy pivots in real time as he's saying, well, Trump said this about this horrible thing, allegedly, about immigrants. It's so bad. Charlie says, no, it's illegal. Well, I know a lot of people who are illegal and they're really great people and you can't tell on their face and I'm just thinking, dude, your worldview, or rather a point that backed up your worldview, just got shattered right there. And rather than stopping for a moment and thinking, maybe I was mistaken, or maybe I've been lied to, the first reaction is to, well, illegals are okay too. So, I still hate that he said that. He just doesn't want to, it's like a cognitive dissonance of sorts. It's almost as if that narrative that the young gentleman here was trying to counter about, liberals are brainwashed, the college students don't know anything, yada, yada, yada. It's almost as if it's true because he just demonstrated that. Am I the only one seeing that?
Explain to me why I'd vote for that as a young black man who has the ability to vote.
You know what isn't beneficial? What happened to Lake and Riley? I mean, you're conflating the two things. If you're here illegally in this country, you've already broken a law. You are already a criminal. Therefore, you should be sent back.
I mean, okay, that's the immigration thing. I'm still trying to figure out why would I vote for you, because I think even for your case too, your whole kind of thing is trans people, this and that, trans sports. I'm gonna be honest with you, with all due respect, I don't care. I don't watch sports like that. I don't watch women's sports, so why would I be like?
Do you hope to have kids one day?
Yeah, but I just don't think that's important to me right now. I'm worried about having money for myself.
What do you worry about?
I worry about cost of living. I think everyone does. If you're a young person, you care about cost of living. I do have a job. So cost of living. We're thinking about paying our college loans. Like I have to pay my college loans. We're thinking about how can we survive, healthcare and our costs like that. What does Trump do to address that besides be like, we're gonna deport people, we're gonna put tariffs on, and trans people are bad? Why do I?
Notice the selfishness here. It's all about him and me. Me. It's all about me. Well, women, men encroaching in women's spaces, I don't care about that. Who gives a shit? Whatever. Let him do it. He says he doesn't watch women's sports and that he doesn't care about them. Okay, touche. All right? Me neither. All right, and I can even understand the argument that it's more disordered for women to be playing sports than it is for a man to pretend he's a woman in order to participate in said sports. You may not agree, but it is an understandable argument. But there's a lot more over here that's at play, okay? Just look at the female locker rooms in gyms, for instance. The idea of a man going in there is disgusting, okay? And everybody should stand against that. A man going into the woman's bathroom, same thing. Totally disgusting, nasty, and evil thing that leads to just the most heinous of acts. Should not be allowed. To address what he said about, well, what's Trump going to do besides stop immigrant support, then blah, blah, blah. Well, you said you care about wages, don't you? So to appeal to your own logic, well, you shouldn't want people coming in, whether it's from, the third world, illegally, legally, whatever, to drive down your wages. So if Trump is going to at least somewhat put a dent in that, at least in theory, well, that's a reason for you to support him if you do care about the cost of living and that kind of stuff.
Why would I care?
Okay, so you work at, what kind of job do you work at?
Right now, I internship at a tech network type of thing. So it's unpaid, but it's a job.
All right, well, yeah, okay. So have you ever worked a job where you have overtime?
Yeah, I worked at like Taco Bell.
Okay, well, Trump is no longer going to tax overtime at all, so no tax on overtime, which is great. Have you ever been in a job where you get tips? No tax on tips as well. And by the way, I don't have to speculate it. Again, the election's over, so I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's kind of a waste of time. But like, Trump's first term was objectively better for people of what you want than Biden. And you're going to see it this time. You're going to see an amazing economic flourishing happen in the coming years.
I feel like that's kind of like a we'll give it to you eventually type of thing. Like, I just don't see, I don't remember that happening. I was alive 2016, 2020. That wasn't a thing where it was a big like.
It was incredible.
Well, what?
But I mean, look, how old are you? 18? You were 10 years old at the time. So I understand that you weren't as like, I get it. I'm not trying to accuse you. It's just you weren't as aware of economics.
Well, in 2020, I was 15, and that was when the COVID hit, and it wasn't great back then. And he was still president, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because we locked down the entire country. I mean,
wait a minute. If this guy is 18 now, he couldn't have been 15 in 2020. He probably would have been like 13, but neither here nor there. This guy is obviously reading the leftist history accounts and then making his opinion based off of that. And that's a real thing to fear, okay? Because you have people who, like him, were 10 years old back in 2016, and the way they're going to form their opinion to understand what went on at the time was by reading some freaking leftist's account of it in the history books, and that is not good.
Obviously, so...
But when he was the president, though, when COVID hit.
Yes, and the states were the ones that locked down, right? It was California that had the most draconian lockdowns. I don't want to get too far into this.
Okay.
This is too speculative. You're going to see Trump succeed, and I want you to remember this conversation and give him credit when he does.
Sure, we'll see it when it happens.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having an open mind.
Just imagine what these left-wing history books that are in the classrooms, the public schools, hell, even the private schools are going to say one day. Donald Trump was a treasonous U.S. president. He led an insurrection against the United States Capitol. He cheered it on. There was violence because of him. During the COVID pandemic, we had a government response. It was totally appropriate. The only people who were opposed to it were crazy anti-vaxxers, people who didn't trust the experts when 99% plus of the scientists and doctors were agreeing this would have cured the pandemic, and they wouldn't do it because they are a bunch of racist, evil MAGA people. Maybe they won't say it in those exact words, but we all know it's going to be pretty damn close. Honorable mention to the Russia. I'm sure they're going to find a way to spin that to be, Trump being the bad guy there too, rather than the people who launch a hoax prosecution. Food for thought, guys. We got to take back the institutions, all right? It is so important. With all that being said, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. As always, comment below. Let us know what you liked about the video, what kind of stuff you want to see in the future, and we will see you again soon. God bless.